Have you ever had one of those nights where you're standing in the kitchen, reaching for food you don't even want? A part of you is watching this happening, going, I'm doing it again, and you feel absolutely powerless to stop?
What's going on?
I can't stop. I can't stop.
If that's you, I want you to hear this very clearly. Here's the biggest lie about binge eating and why it's keeping you stuck. Binge eating is not about the food. I know, right? Shocking. It's actually about safety. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why you can be incredibly smart, self-aware, successful, do the therapy, read the books, know what to do, and still binge. And you're going to walk away with a simple, nervous system-based way to create safety in your body so that food isn't your only off switch. I had a client, Hannah. She had tried absolutely everything. I'm talking Overeaters Anonymous, outpatient programs, sugar addiction programs. She became a nutritionist. She became a trainer. She read every single book, and binge eating still ran her life for over 12 years. But when she started applying our brazen method, she finally saw that this wasn't a willpower problem or an intellectual problem. It was a nervous system safety problem. And her binge eating finally stopped. She has peace now, freedom, no more binge eating, and is living a life she said she's only dreamed about. So take a breath, because if you've been blaming and shaming yourself, that ends here. If you're listening to this and going, oh my gosh, this is me, this is what I've been missing, I made a masterclass specifically for high achieving women who have tried absolutely everything, including years of therapy, and still feel a prisoner to binge eating. This masterclass is called How to Overcome Binge Eating for High Achievers Who Have Tried Everything. So go watch it after this video. It will connect the dots even deeper, and it will show you the exact path and way out of this. And a path that actually gets you results, not just more information and insight, because we know that doesn't work. The link is waiting for you below. Now let's dive into the 3 specific shifts that are going to change everything for you today. Okay, step 1. This isn't a willpower or intellectual problem. If you're a high achiever, this part is going to hit big because you've probably approached binge eating the same way you approach everything else, right? I'll just learn more. I'll research more. I'll find the right plan. I'll make a better strategy. If I only had more accountability, I would stop this. And listen, your brain is not the problem. Your brain is amazing. Your capacity for insight and information and learning is absolutely incredible. You probably know the macros. You already know nutrition. You know the psychology. You know the patterns. You can probably tell me exactly why you binge, where it all started in childhood, and you understand if you have some past trauma. And yet, this binge eating still happens. And that's the part that makes you feel crazy, right? Because you're like, I understand it, so why can't I stop it? This is so frustrating. Let's pause on that. Because this is where so many women start making the conclusion, well, I guess I'm just not trying hard enough. Well, maybe I'm not as disciplined as I thought. Or this is never gonna end for me. This is just the one area of my life that I can't figure out. I'm ashamed. No. Here's what's actually happening. You are trying to solve a nervous system-based problem with thought-based solutions. Binge eating does not happen because you didn't think the right thought. It happens because your nervous system is in a state of threat. And in that moment, your system is not choosing food like a casual preference. It's choosing food like a life raft. So the more you try to think your way out, the more you reinforce the idea that you're failing, because this has nothing to do with your logical mind. And that increases shame. And shame increases that threat response in your nervous system. And that threat response increases the need for relief. You see this loop? I had this same struggle. I was in therapy for over 15 years. I'm very smart. I'm very determined. I thought I knew better, but I still binged. And I got stuck in this binge, shame, stress cycle over and over and over again. So I know how frustrating this is. And I want to say this so clearly. You can be wildly self-aware, incredibly intelligent, and still be dysregulated in your nervous system. Those 2 things can be true at the same time. And I want to add something really important right now, because this is the exact place a lot of high achievers get stuck. You try to heal this alone. You keep this private because you feel like you should have figured this out by now. You tell yourself, I should be able to figure this out. And if you're being honest, you've probably thought, what's wrong with me that I can't stop this? So let's pause on that, because Healing binge eating alone is incredibly difficult, near impossible, because safety in your nervous system isn't a logical problem. Your nervous system doesn't care that you have a color-coded meal plan. It doesn't care that you understand your childhood wounds. It doesn't care that you've journaled, you've meditated, you've done therapy, you know that you're worthy. When your body flips into threat and into a dysregulated place, it will always reach for what has worked before. And food has worked before. Food has been the fastest way to come down, to numb out, to shut your mind off. So it gives us relief in seconds. So when you try to heal this in isolation, here's what's happening. You're asking the same nervous system that's already overwhelmed, that's already dysregulated, to also become your coach, your accountability partner, your regulator, your source of safety, and to somehow be the doctor and patient all at once. And that's a lot. It's too much, especially when your system has learned that being seen is unsafe, needing help is unsafe, slowing down is unsafe, messing up is unsafe. So of course your brain keeps trying to solve it alone, and that makes sense. I see you. I know that you want to try and fix this. But the real change requires something that your nervous system actually needs to feel, not just logically understand. It needs co-regulation, support, guidance, evidence-based tools, steady support, someone that's helping your body actually develop safety and learn what it's intended to do. That's why you can still be so brilliant and binge. It's not because you're failing, it's because you're trying to rewire a threat response with logic, and safety is not a logical experience. It's a physiological one, okay? So just let that soften inside of you, okay? I know you're shaming and blaming yourself, and you just haven't had this information, okay? You've tried very, very hard. You've done a lot of work, and I really congratulate you. It just wasn't the right roadmap. And that's exactly what I'm here to teach you today. And remember, by the way, if you're listening to this right now and it's clicking and you're going, okay, so what do I do with all this information? That's exactly why I made my masterclass, because understanding is empowering, but you also need a clear path and a framework. You need tools that work when you're activated, not just when you're calm on a Sunday morning with your journal and your coffee feeling great, right? So when you're done this video, go and watch that masterclass linked below, How to Overcome Binge Eating for High Achievers Who Have Tried Absolutely Everything. That is going to be your ticket out, and it will help you start applying these tools in real life. All right, so step 2, as you've probably become aware of by now, this is a nervous system problem because binge eating is about safety. So let's talk about the headline again. Binge eating is not about the food. It's about safety. So what does that even mean? It means somewhere along the way, usually without consciously realizing it, your body learned, when I feel too much, food soothes me. When I feel overwhelmed, food soothes me. When I feel lonely, food soothes me. When I feel pressure, food soothes me. When I feel like I'm not good enough, food soothes me. When I feel bored, food soothes me. And for high achievers, this is a big one, okay? When I finally stop performing all day long and pushing myself, I'm tired and food soothes me. Because binge eating is often happening in those moments where the mask comes off. You've been on all day, you've held it together, you've done the right thing, you've been responsible, you've cared for everyone else, you've achieved, you've produced, and then your nervous system goes, I can't maintain this pace anymore, I'm tired. And food becomes the fastest off switch. And it's not because you're out of control, because trust me, I see you, I know you're not out of control. It's because your system is trying to come back to baseline, okay? This is why so many women who have struggled as well with a past ED or restriction, but have actively stopped, still also struggle with binge eating, okay? So here's the simplest way I can say this. Your nervous system always moves towards regulation because its primary job is to feel safe. If you do not have tools to regulate your nervous system, it will choose the tool it already knows, okay? And for you, that tool is food. So let me make this very practical. A lot of women think, I binge eat because I'm hungry, or I binge eat because I have no control. But when we slow it down, it's actually like this. I binge because I'm emotionally starving. I binge because my nervous system depleted. I binge because I don't feel safe to feel what I feel underneath the food. I binge because I'm lonely. I binge because I don't know how to come down from stress. I binge because I put so much pressure on myself that I can't take it anymore. And that's not a character flaw. That's a missing skill set, a missing capacity. And the good news is capacity in your nervous system can be built, safety can be trained, and your nervous system is not a life sentence, okay? It's learnable, it's malleable, and you can do this, okay? Remember I told you about my client Hannah, whose turning point moment was when she realized that her discipline wasn't the issue. It was actually hypervigilance and living in a constant state of survival mode. And let's name this. What's super frustrating about this, diet culture teaches you to override your body, to push harder, to control more, to earn your food, to compensate, to restrict, to be good. But restriction, especially for an already stressed nervous system, creates more threat. So you restrict or control your food because you feel like you need to have the perfect body. Your system perceives that as danger. Then it swings back hard towards relief. That's not you being dramatic. That's biology and that's safety. And until we create safety and capacity in the nervous system, we can't create biological change. That's really, really important to understand. Your nervous system won't actually prioritize any kind of behavior change when it's constantly stuck in survival mode, because your nervous system has two jobs. One is to answer the question, am I safe right now or not? And if it's not, then it will prioritize safety and doubling down on protective behaviors like binge eating. If your nervous system actually is regulated and feels safe, then it is open to behavior change. So by now, I hope you understand that a nervous system that doesn't feel safe will never allow any kind of behavior change. Therefore, in order to stop binge eating and to fundamentally change this behavior, we have to focus on that first foundational piece, which is nervous system safety and regulation. So let me teach you a tool that can show you exactly how to start doing this for yourself. Okay, we're gonna use this tool to start growing safety and capacity so food isn't your only form of relief. Because as I just mentioned, we need safety in order to create behavior change and to have options. So here's where we shift from insight to actual implementation and action. I'm going to give you a tool that you can use in the moment where you feel that binge urge building so that you're not white knuckling your way through it or forcing yourself to be perfect, but you're giving your nervous system another option, because right now your nervous system has a very limited menu: stress, food; overwhelm, food; pressure, food. So we're expanding that menu, okay? So here's the tool. I call it the safety and capacity reset, and you're going to do it in 3 easy steps, okay? So just follow me with this tool as best as you can, and we're going to walk through it step by step together. And I would also advise you, as a bonus tip, to practice these tools much earlier than when you have an urge, because that is often the most difficult time to create safety in the nervous system, because it's already past capacity. So if you can practice this much earlier on, like in the morning, if you usually binge at 3 p.m., you're going to have even greater success. Okay, so first what I want you to do is look around the room that you're in very slowly. So let your head, neck, and eyes take in your surroundings. Look left, look right. Maybe you have a window you can look out of. Let your eyes really see in the space that you're in. I'm here in this present moment. I'm safe. Okay, because binge eating comes from a nervous system that's time traveling. It's not in the present. It's stuck in pressure. It's stuck in fear. It's stuck in this, I can't handle this energy. So we bring it back just by looking around and letting your body register in this moment, I'm okay. Okay, so I want you to name even 4 things that you can see in this space that you're in. A tree. I see my dog, I see a plant. Name those things, okay? And just take a nice, easy breath and notice how you're feeling as you're allowing your body to orient. Beautiful work. Most high achievers don't do this. They live from the neck up and in a constant state of stress and hypervigilance. So this orienting is speaking to your body in its language, helping you to really physically embody the energy of safety, okay? Now, step 2 is I want you to just tune in this moment and name what you're feeling without judgment, okay? So try this sentence. Part of me is feeling blank right now. It might be overwhelmed, it might be lonely, it might be pressured, it might be unseen, okay? And then we're gonna add, and it makes sense that I want relief. Let me say that again. And it makes sense that I want relief. So, tune in, notice how you're feeling, let's name that together, and then add at the end, and it makes sense that I'm wanting relief. And then once you have that sentence, we're just gonna tap right where I'm tapping and repeat that exact phrase. Okay, so let's try this together. Even though a part of me is feeling overwhelmed right now, it makes sense that part of me is wanting relief. Part of me is feeling overwhelmed right now, or you change the word to represent how you're feeling. And it makes sense that I want relief. Part of me is feeling overwhelmed right now. And it makes sense that I want relief. Part of me is feeling overwhelmed right now. And it makes sense that I want relief. Part of me is feeling overwhelmed right now. And it makes sense that I want relief. But I can feel this and stay present. Take a nice, easy breath. You're probably gonna yawn, excuse me. And you're probably gonna feel some regulation through your nervous system, okay? That's you actually somatically, emotionally, psychologically teaching your body, whatever we're feeling right now, it's safe to feel. It makes sense that we would want relief, and it's okay. Okay, we're creating that safety, growing capacity within the nervous system. So just notice how you feel, and if you want to share in the comments, I would love to hear. Now, last little piece of our toolkit is to place a hand on your chest or your belly, whatever feels right. Just gently with me here. We're gonna do 20 seconds of physical touch because that's gonna activate your self-compassion centers, which are going to create more safety in your nervous system. Just tune in and see where can you soften even by 2%. Not 100, just 2%. Maybe dropping your shoulders a little bit, unclenching your jaw. Maybe breathing more space into your belly. This is what we're doing. We're just growing capacity. Teaching your system, I can be with myself, I can feel this and stay here. That's safety, that's freedom. That's the beginning and the end of a cycle. You're doing a beautiful job. And I'd love to invite you to check in and just notice what you're feeling now. What would be 1 to 2 shifts that you're witnessing within yourself and your system? Super, super, super proud of you. Okay, so now you've just learned a full toolbox that you can use. And as I said, as a gentle reminder, best practice is to start using these tools much earlier before an urge, because that's going to grow your capacity and safety within your nervous system. It's going to create a totally different life for you, and it's going to allow you to have choice around that binge. Don't wait till the urge is a 10 out of 10 and expect yourself to do all this, because the nervous system has left the building. And a final mindset reminder that I want you to anchor in: if binge eating has been part of your nervous system's way of finding safety for many, many years, the solution isn't more control. It's more safety, it's more capacity, it's more regulation, it's more support. And for high achievers especially, this is the humbling truth. You cannot outperform a nervous system. You can't achievement your way out of dysregulation. You have to train the system back to safety. And once you do, that behavior that used to feel compulsive, that you had no choice over, loses its grip. Not because you tried harder, but because you no longer need it. Okay? You've done a successful job of bringing safety to your system. And just imagine what that would feel like to be in your life without food noise, without this constant negotiation with food, without the shame hangover from another binge. That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when you actually treat the root of these issues and you go to the source, safety. That's what unlocks the ability to actually release this behavior, right? So remember, if you're sitting here going, okay, this is the first time something has actually been explained to me, this is making sense, then I want you to take this next step while you're in this moment of clarity. Go watch my masterclass, How to Overcome Binge Eating for High Achieving Women Who Have Tried Everything, because you don't need another diet, you don't need another rule, you don't need another control plan. You need a nervous system rooted path that actually supports you to overcome this, okay? And you deserve to stop carrying this load privately because there's nothing to be ashamed about. You deserve to feel safe in your body. You deserve food freedom. So click that link, watch the masterclass. Let's open the door to a completely different way of living. I'm so excited to see you there.